we are /StaffCanteen. When you're sat down, we're going to come around and scan you. We're going to take your details, if that's okay. You don't have to be scanned, obviously, but if you do, you enter into our competition. And the competition is to win Purest. It's by a gentleman called Jonny Boer, who's a 3-star chef from the Netherlands. It's an amazing book, packed with some amazing photographs. So if you let us scan you, we'll give you it where you can enter into the competition to win a book. Okay, come on in, ladies and gentlemen. Come in, grab a seat. Andre's going to be on very, very shortly. As I say, he's going to be doing a turbot dish. Beautiful turbot here. Andre's going to show you how to fillet that. He's going to be working with some oysters. He's going to be doing a potato risotto with his dish. Andre's been a great competition chef, done lots and lots of competitions. He's won the Roux Scholarship. Any of you familiar with the Roux Scholarship? No? Hands up? No? No? Yes? So Andre is a Roux Scholar. An amazing competition, probably one of the best competitions here in the UK, along with National Chef of the Year and a few others. So Andre is a Roux Scholar. Okay, come on in, guys. We're just a few minutes away. Come on in, take a seat. Okay, so just a couple of minutes. Come on in. There's a couple of spaces here. Does anyone want a seat? If you sit down, you'll get food, I promise you. Yeah. Okay, so come on in, grab a seat. If you want samples, you have to sit down, trust me, okay? Come on in, grab a seat, guys. We're about a minute away. We will start exactly at 1 o'clock because we're going onto our Facebook page. I just had a quick look. Between the two videos, between Glyn and Dom, we've done over 20,000 people have reached it on Facebook. Okay? So we're always trying to do things differently at the StaffCanteen. We've got the technology now to live stream. So it's amazing that you guys can come and see it. It's a bit like a football match. Yeah, Sky do an amazing job. But if you can go, brilliant. So that's what we're doing. If you're here, great. But people are watching it on our YouTube. Okay, everybody ready? Okay, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you're live on YouTube, live on Facebook. Give us a wave. Say hello. Come on. Wake up. Hello. That's it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Mr. Andre Garrett.
There we go. Come on, let's get it up.
Chef, good afternoon. Thank you very much for coming up from Berkshire.
Thank you very much.
How are you? Who are you working with today?
I'm working with Sarah. Very good student from Birmingham College.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah from UCB. Put your hands together. Thank you very much. Chef, amazing turbot dish. What are you going to cook for us?
Yeah, I'm going to do a pan-roasted turbot with deep-fried oysters, a potato risotto, not using rice, using the potato, an oyster leaf velouté, and a oyster mayonnaise.
Fantastic.
So we got some lovely flavour of the sea.
Okay.
I heard you saying that I've got this lovely turbot here. I just wanted to show this off. Beautiful turbot. I'm not going to fillet it. Okay. Because I'm under a bit of a time pressure. So we're going to do that. I've got some I've done earlier. So what I've done here is I've cured it.
We call those Blue Peter moments.
On some kombu seaweed. Okay. So we're imparting a lot of flavour into the fish, and I want all those sea flavours to come out. So that is my Blue Peter moment. That is my whole turbot that's come in, all very fresh.
Just what you got there, Chef. What are we looking for? Fresh fish. What do you look for?
Well, you want beautiful fresh eyes. This would have come out the sea on Saturday. Gills are lovely and fresh, lovely and fresh colour in there, nice and red. We've trimmed that out already because we take it out as soon as it comes in the kitchen. Just lovely, shiny body, beautiful and firm, lovely fish.
Fantastic. Okay, off we go, Chef.
Straight away. So we're going to, Sarah here, sorry, is going to chop me the potatoes down for the risotto. If you can do this for me, I'll just show you one quickly.
Andre, just while you're doing that, Clifton, big operation. How many chefs are you employing now?
28 in the team. So yeah, very, very big operation. Growing, really, really growing. The business has grown hugely since I took over 3.5 years ago. And it's really, a lot of people say it's bringing a phoenix out of the fire. It was a hotel that was sort of forgotten about and left alone, and not a lot of money spent on it, but we've new ownership now for 4 years, and there's been a huge amount of investment. So that's was my big angle for going there, and having my own restaurant within that is really, really special. So Sarah, if you can do that for me, that'd be great. With those probably 3
Any
potatoes.
of you familiar with the Clifton Hotel? Steeped in history. If you Google it, it's the Perfumo Affair.
Perfumo Affair in
you know,
in the 60s. A lot of people forget about that now, but it's a beautiful stately home.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it
really,
is.
really lovely.
It is. And is part of it still used as a home?
No.
Not anymore. Okay.
The family that owned it, the Astors,
Yeah.
they gave it to the National Trust.
Okay, yeah.
After that Perfumo Affair, just to get rid of it.
Right.
And it's been run as a hotel since about the mid-80s.
So 28 chefs. How do you find recruitment? You struggling for chefs like everybody, or you?
Yeah, pretty much. It's tough out there, really, really tough. And I'm doing okay because we work a lot with colleges, and we just try to keep it ahead all the time. But it is really, really tough.
Have you found it tougher being? Okay, you're only 20 minutes from London, but if you are, all intents and purposes, now in the country.
Yeah, you're out in the country. So
is that harder to recruit there than it is London?
Yeah, a little bit. We don't really have a lot of staff accommodation. We have a few cottages that we put people up in. But that's a big thing, which I find when you're out in the country there, you need to give people a lot of a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
And I was in London for 23 years, and it's a completely different beast to staff for.
So what are we doing there, chef? What's in the bag?
So we got salsify here. So I've cooked this with seaweed butter. We've done that all back at the restaurant already.
And when you say cook it, what, you cook it in the bag? What do you do?
Cooked it in the bag, yeah. We do a lot of vegetables in the bag. I don't do so much meat and fish in the bag nowadays. A little bit of meat, maybe venison and things. I don't do any fish in bag at all. I don't really believe in that. But we do a lot of vegetables. You're sealing everything in. You can add flavors like this seaweed butter, so you can get more flavors in there, and that vacuum helps that out.
Fantastic.
So that's good.
Okay, for those of you, if you're interested in sous vide cooking, obviously we've got a water bath here. Go and have a chat with the team over there at Clifton. They are literally just down that aisle there. If you go and have a chat with Melvin, he can talk to you about the water bath.
So, as I've said, I've cured the fish here on kombu seaweed. So we do a lot of this at the restaurant. Kombu seaweed, Japanese kelp, basically. They use this to make a dashi. There's Japanese stocks, but there's a lot of umami flavor in there. So we would cure the fish. I call it curing, so it doesn't cook it as such, but it imparts the flavor into that. So when that is cooked, you've got a lot of that umami flavor coming through, a lot of sea flavors, and this dish will all come together lovely.
People in the audience, if any of you have got a question, don't be shy. Put your hands up. Okay, we'll come out. We've got a microphone. Feel free to ask us a question, and Andre will do his best to answer it, which I'm sure he will for you. Okay. If you do ask a question, you get one of our wonderful StaffCanteen mugs. They literally, money can't buy them.
So I'm starting the risotto, as we call it here. So we've diced up the potatoes. We're using potato instead of rice. This has been done quite a lot. In many years that I've been cooking, you can use celeriac, you can use Jerusalem artichoke. We're using potato, obviously, here. Just gives you a different feel. Something did a little bit different for the guests. And something that's quite interesting. So
the dish that you're cooking today, Andre, where does that feature in the Clifton sort of portfolio? Is that in your restaurant, your named restaurant? Is it a banqueting dish? Where does it feature?
Yeah, that's in my named restaurant. So Restaurant Andre Garrett.
Yep.
I always have to pinch myself a little bit when I say that, but it's funny.
And is this a dish that's evolved? Talk us through sort of how this dish came about.
Yes, it has. Well, I want everything to be real. So, if we're cooking a fish dish, I want the guest to get the element of the sea there, where we bought the fish from, what are the flavors we bringing in. So there's a lot of sea flavors. You've got the oyster, you've got seaweed butter, you've got salsify, which works really well. The potato risotto is something interesting. And a little fresh fish velouté with oyster leaves as well. So there's that evolution of the idea of the dish.
I've been out in the country. You've got lots of competition, obviously. You've got the waterside just round the corner. You've got Heston just round the corner.
Yeah. I mean, Thames Valley's really, really grown. We've got, You've got obviously Heston and the Fat Duck.
Some bloke called Dom Chapman as well.
You've got the Waterside Inn. You've got, Dom Chapman, a great friend. You've got Tom Kerridge.
Yeah.
And everything that he's doing in Marlow. Really, really great area to be within.
Does that bring people out?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. I mean,
good.
I drove into London the other evening for a canapé party I was doing in London, and I was in Knightsbridge within 35 minutes of leaving the hotel.
But what you're not telling everyone was that was 3 o'clock in the morning when you drove.
No.
Because it certainly wasn't at 8.
It wasn't 8 o'clock, no, that's for sure.
Because it would have took you about 3 hours.
No, that M4 corridor is a nightmare in the morning. But that was good, and I think that's something you need to sell. You need to celebrate with the guests. It amazed me. It really amazed me.
So, potato risotto, what do we got? Diced potatoes, what else are we doing?
Diced potatoes and fish stock.
Okay.
And then I'm going to finish it with seaweed butter. So exactly the same as a risotto. I've sweated the potatoes off as you would the rice. And then I'm not using any wine because I don't believe we need that. And then the stock. And then you just cook and continue to work it like you do rice. You want the starch to come out of the potatoes. You want it to become creamy. You want that texture.
Okay, if anyone's tweeting this or anything like that, if you want to @ Andre in, he's @ Andre Chef 72, I believe. Is that right,
That's
Chef?
correct. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
That's amazing with my memory.
I can remember.
So if you want to tweet him @ Andre Chef 72, use the hashtag TSC Live. Anything you're putting on Instagram, use the hashtag TSC Live.
You can get rid
of Andre's promised to follow every single one of you back. He says.
Yep, I've worked really hard on that. That's really. You just clear that away and then take all these out for me. Just drain them on the paper.
What oysters are you using, Chef?
They're Porthelly oysters
from
Cornwall. Use them all the time.
Yeah.
Great oyster, really lovely.
So you get what Mr. Outlaw doesn't use, do you?
Well, I think he's probably got his own farm, I think, now, yeah. But a lot of us are taking those. A lovely, lovely plump oyster. And we're buying them from Flying Fish Seafoods. Really great supplier of mine.
Hello, Johnny, if you're watching this.
Yeah, Johnny. Used by a lot of us chefs. So I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if there's a camera here or no.
Yeah, we can see that.
It's coming together the same as the rice.
Can we get a shot of that on the overhead? There we go. As if by magic.
Yeah, take that straight out. And then
okay, anyone got any questions? No?
Oh, come on.
No food, no questions.
Well,
no questions,
please.
no food, I should say.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot for me and Andre to eat.
So
Andre.
What about competitions, Mark?
Yeah, we were talking about those earlier.
I heard you say a little bit about that. We should big that up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, Roo Scholarship, but talk us through some of the other competitions you did. But more importantly, why do you do them?
Competitions, I think, are really important for a young chef. I mean, we start off with the Academy of Culinary Arts, which I'm a member of, and you've got the Annual Awards of Excellence, which is for young chefs from 23 to 26. Really important, I think, to grind themselves, to learn about working under pressure, to learn about developing a dish with your mentor, and then go and do it. And it's not a competition examination, so everyone can achieve. And if you look at people that's achieved it and gone on, there's some great chefs out there. And then we moved to the Roo Scholarship, which I won back in 2002. Amazing time, and a great competition to be within the Roo brothers and everything. And then it's a competition that keeps giving. You become part of the scholarship. You become part of the Roo family, as you can say. You might see on Instagram and on social media all our trips we do every 2 years. Brilliant time, and we go away and we learn about each other, and just great. And then I was privileged enough to cook for my country in 2007. I did the Bocuse d'Or, which is actually today over in Lyon, biggest competition in the world for chefs, and an amazing time, great time, really good.
I think we got some hecklers.
Something I was proud of. Have you got something to say? Okay, thank you. Not when you're on it, no. Oh dear.
So what do we got going in there, Chef?
So that's my seaweed butter, which I make back at the restaurant. So beautiful French unsalted butter.
Yep.
And dull seaweed, the red one, and then sea lettuce as well.
Oh, okay.
which we buy.
And what do you do? Buy that dry or fresh, or how do you buy it?
Buy that fresh,
Okay.
and then you just give it a little wash off.
Is that from Scotland?
Comes in every day. No, we get it from Cornwall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I guess it gives that sort of nice umami flavour.
yeah, you've got that lovely flavour, and you can see that coming together now. The risotto, as would rice. You keep mixing it, get that starch out of the potato. Cool. So the fish is frying. I just start off very low. Secret of frying fish: do not move it.
Okay.
In the pan, do not move it until you've started to get some colour. I always say this to all the young guys that come through the kitchen. There's always the sense of you need to get the palette knife underneath and lift it too early. And then I'm going to finish that with salted butter. Lovely traditional way to cook. So even
So talking Roux Scholarship, we just touched on the Roux Scholarship. Where was your last trip? Was it Japan or America? I can't remember. Which one?
the last trip we did was San Francisco and
yes.
Napa.
Yeah.
Beautiful time. We had.
Where did you go?
6 days, all around San Francisco. So we did 4 or 3 Michelin star meals. It was lunch, dinner every day, which is really tough. Really, really tough. But we did Saison, Benu, the French Laundry, and Meadowwood up in Napa. All top class restaurants.
Obviously all excellent, but was there a favourite? Was there one that stood out for
Some of the best in the world.
I know it's all personal, but was there one that,
Benu was the top.
Okay.
Corey Lee is a phenomenal chef. Probably the best in the world, I would say, at the moment. And
I believe one of the Roux scholars, Ian Scaramuza, is going to be going over there working with.
Yeah, he's going to go to work with him. It is a restaurant in situ, which we ate at as well.
Yeah.
Which I believe could easily get 2 Michelin stars. It's phenomenal setup.
But that's really all come about by the Roux Scholarship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ian wouldn't have got to go and do a stage there. Then obviously notice his skill and be able to get offered a job at a new restaurant in town.
So what have we got in this pan here then, chef? What's going on here?
This is my velouté.
Okay.
So I've made a traditional classic fish velouté, shallots, little garlic, white of leek, nolly prat, very, very classic. Reduce that down, fish stock, and then whipping cream. And then we've blended into it at the end oyster leaves. So I don't know if everyone knows the oyster leaves.
Will?
It's got the same flavour as borage. I'm not sure if Westlands do.
Is Will
them. I
there?
think they probably do.
Will, James, have you got any oyster leaf over there, guys? No, they're busy.
They can go around the guys if they want to. You can taste them. They got really, really intense flavour of an oyster. It's quite amazing.
James, you got any oyster leaf you can pass out, mate? Sorry. Thank you very much. So James from Westland, he's going to pass you around some oyster leaf. This is what Andre's using up on set, or Lucy's going to pass it around. Have a taste. And you can see why it gets its name. Have a taste.
Yeah, taste them. They're really amazing. I use them a lot in a restaurant, but very much like borage. That one would be great. Got that lovely flavour of oyster. Quite phenomenal in a leaf. And then they also have the flowers as well, which are little purple flower. So salted butter into the pan.
Do you cook with salted, unsalted, or?
This I do with salted because you've got low water content. So it's going to foam up and you can keep cooking at high temperature of the pan. If you use unsalted, it's going to burn really, really quickly. And then obviously it imparts flavour as well. You've got that salted butter going in there, and you've got salt being added into your recipe without adding too much salt.
Anyone tasted the oyster leaves? Anyone surprised? They taste like oysters, don't they? Yeah? So as Glenn was saying earlier, micro leaves have become very fashionable, and that's great, and they're a little bit like chervil was in the 90s. Everyone's just throwing chervil all over things.
Sorry?
You've still got to use things in moderation.
That's
you can't
okay.
just... Sticking, you all right?
Yeah, it's okay.
So if you're going to have a chat with Will and James over there, they can talk you through all of these wonderful things. Oyster leaf, salty fingers, all of these type of saline products. You can go and have a chat with them over there.
Yeah, I think it's important, just as Glyn says, to understand what you're using, why you're using it. Don't overuse things. Really, really important. Everything in moderation. How are we doing for time?
You have got about 12 minutes left, chef. So good.
Unbelievable.
It's all right.
I've amazed myself.
Better being early. That's it. On the corner of there for me, chef.
Okay, you set that nice for me.
There we go.
Ooh.
We've got a cloth for that plate. It's just got a dirty smudge mark on it. Just give it a wipe for me. Cheers. Or I'll tell you what, why don't we just swap it over? I'm going to move that one away.
So come on, there must be some more questions because we got about 10 minutes to go.
Don't worry, we won't let them eat anything.
Okay.
Hands will be flying in the air at that point. Trust me. If we put one over here, then you can plate the other one up.
That's good.
How's that?
Ah, good. I like that.
We can do it like on MasterChef, where the chef does the dish, and then the contestants have to replicate it. Yeah, it's on. Okay, so our turbot's nice and brown. We got our velouté on. Salsify's browned off. What's next?
Nothing really.
We're ready to go?
About 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Deep fry the oysters.
Has anyone got any questions?
Finish that.
Any of you using turbot at work? Yes?
So deep fry the oysters. Into a little flour first.
You would not.
So we've got a tempura batter here, corn flour, plain flour, a little egg yolk, sparkling water, and lime zest.
You would not believe the health and safety forms we have to sign to get that fryer in here.
Yeah, and it nearly didn't work.
Okay, you want to start thinking about having some questions? Because no questions, no food. It's a really, really simple policy that we have.
Very simple.
Okay. Questions, you're more likely to get food and mugs.
And you really got to have a staff canteen mug. Let
Absolutely.
Me tell you.
So what we're going to do is when Andre's finished this, we'll get some samples of his potato risotto into the audience for you. So if your guys, Ian, can get some taster cups right. Cool. Well done. I'll tell you what then, if you've got a little pot and I'll take some out and then you can... Pan, anything. Yeah, pan will be fine. How much do you need for 2 portions, chef?
2 spoons.
2 spoons?
Yeah. Okay, ready to go now. Oh, shit.
Leave that one there. Awesome. Is that enough for 2 portions?
Yeah, yeah.
It is now. Okay, so we got some of Andre's potato risotto coming round. So as I said to you earlier, those of you sat down, you're going to get first opportunity to eat it. Any of you got a question?
You're dressing one dish as well, are you?
Okay, you'll
Not
be
the
going
one
hungry.
that's going to get photographed. Great, let's go.
So we've deep fried the oysters.
Yeah, just keep him warm in the
So potato
oven
risotto.
behind me. You do the other one.
We got our salsify.
Salsify. Oyster mayonnaise, which is basically the fresh oysters, a little egg yolk, and then emulsified with extra virgin olive oil, which I've pre-made.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. Okay. Obviously you're hungry, yeah? Okay, if you can just introduce yourself and then ask Andre the question.
Hi, I'm Karen. I've just got a question about the turbot. How can you tell the difference between farm turbot and the fresh turbot? Is it something to do with the underside of the belly?
They'll get like a two-tone underside on the skin.
If they're farmed?
If they're farmed, yeah. So on a wild turbot or a brill or a halibut as well, the same. That you're completely dark on the top and very white underneath on the belly.
Thank you.
A farmed one, yeah, will have like a two-tone belly where they've been in the nets.
In the nets, yeah.
And they lie on their bellies a lot, and the nets as they go down through the water.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I've got a lady over here as well.
Very
wants
good
to ask a
question, yeah.
Excuse me. Only people sit down, all right? Yeah. And again, if you can just introduce yourself and then ask the question to Andre.
Hi, I'm Zoe. How long exactly does the mussels take to cook in the fryer?
The oysters,
Yeah.
just about 1.5 minutes.
Okay.
So it's just to cook the batter, and you can see they're crispy but just golden,
Yeah.
and then they'll still be quite half raw inside.
Okay.
So yeah, very very quick.
Okay, anyone else got any questions while I'm out here with the mic? Okay, so Andre's going to start plating up now.
So yeah, finishing up now. We've got a potato risotto underneath, the salsify, an oyster leaf to give you a bit more of that. Mayonnaise.
Hey, that looks really good.
And then just to finish it off, a little velouté with a finish with a fresh oyster leaf. You could do your one. Now you have to do it. And then they're going to taste it. Finish with a deep fried oyster. So there we go, our wild turbot with potato risotto, salsify and oyster leaf velouté.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, please. Mr. Andre Garrett, what an amazing dish.
Very good.
Okay, so we are going to whisk one of those away now and do some photographs with it. I'm now going to come into the audience for questions because it's question time. So who has a question for Andre? Hands up. Anyone want to ask him a question? Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
So if you can introduce yourself and then ask the question to Andre.
Hi Andre, I'm John.
Hi there.
Is there a better variety of potato to use for the risotto?
I've used there an agria potato, so it's very waxy, good
So
for chips and things like that. So that's one I've used there.
Yeah.
But anything that you might use probably for chipping, you've got that very waxy, so it's
Okay.
not going to break up all the way.
Fair enough,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
That's a great question. Any other questions? Any other questions for Andre? There you go. Sorry, you get a mug. Yes, sorry. My apologies.
Would the potato work as well if it was grated, or would it break down too easily?
I'd say that would break down a bit too easily, yeah. But you could use, as I've said earlier, you can use celeriac, you could use our Jerusalem artichoke. There's a few different things you can use, and they've all got the same finish to them.
Okay, thanks.
But yeah, grating's going to break down too much, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Andre? Anyone else got any other questions? We're going to bribe you with mugs now. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you get a free mug. Come on.
You do. Again, if you just introduce yourself, then ask Andre the question.
Hi, I'm Jack. I was just wondering what were some of the key differences between working in the country and then working in the city?
Well, obviously you're in a very, very busy city, London. I mean, I'm only 30 miles outside of London, so it's not like I'm in the middle of Yorkshire, which I think would be very, very different. I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to keep touch with London, and we've got a London feel to the business as well, and you're always looking for that for inspiration. But, you know, I've spent 23 years of my career in London, so it's great. But, yeah, I wouldn't say it's quieter at all. We're still extremely, extremely busy, but in a different way. Where in London you run a restaurant, it's lunch, dinner, and late nights and everything, but it's just a different feel, but it's good.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Ah, Sarah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What's going on?
With the oyster, how do you keep it? If you cook it like for longer, would it go rubbery or would it just lose taste?
Yeah, it would get a little bit rubbery inside. You overcook it, so they get too firm.
Okay.
And you need to cook it fresh, and it needs to go.
So you'd cook it to order?
Yeah.
almost? Okay.
Yeah, you cook them to order. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes,
And you
sir.
get a free mug.
I say 2 more questions. Okay, great. So if you can just introduce yourself and then ask Andre the question.
Hi, my name's Catherine, and we're all sort of first-year catering students. I just wondered what advice you'd have for us going through our years at college.
Well done for enrolling in college. That's brilliant, I think. As Dom Chapman said earlier, there's such a vast amount of things you can do within the food world. it's really changed from when I was younger. Look for what you want to do and who you want to work with, and work with good people in good places that are going forward. Work hard, obviously, and be respectful, but learn all the time. I think that's really, really important. And make sure, I think, you work for a chef who's like a mentor as well, who can mentor you. You know, we're all very busy, but we all need advice, and we all need to, you know, to be pointed in the right direction, because there is a lot of things out there which, you know, can sort of drag you down. But keep it up. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks.
And last question, this gentleman over here. Yes, sir.
You say you don't sous vide fish. Is there any reason behind that?
Just personal. Yeah, it's personal. Yeah. I mean, I might vacuum pack it down to keep it, but
Yeah.
it's a very personal thing.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't have any forethoughts
Just a
on what's
personal-
right or wrong. It's just a personal thing to me.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. Thank you for your question. Okay, we get a mug to this gentleman. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, big round of applause for Sarah from UCB College. Well done, Sarah.
Yeah, well done, Sarah. Thank you very
Amazing.
much. All the students have been great, I'll have to say as well. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Mr. Andre Garrett, thank
you.
you very, very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, so we're going to whisk Andre away over here. We're going to get some photos. Sarah, can we do a photo with you and Andre first? Thank you for that. So we're going to whisk Andre away over here. We're going to get set up. If any of you want your photograph taken, autograph, no problem at all. We're going to get that set up here. In the meantime, we're going to clear down the stage. The team from UCB are going to come and clear down the stage. And last but by no means